Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited for you all to be joining us here today. We have a very special guest, but just as a recap, I'm Sandy Dyke. I'm the Director of Operations with All About You Senior Placement and Resources. And I'm very excited to introduce to you our very special guest today, Miss Teepa Snow. I appreciate you, Teepa, taking time out of your extremely busy schedule and just chatting with us today. I know you're a few hours ahead of me, so you're already well into the day here compared to me. So
Yep. It's after 1 o'clock my time, but I know that's not, you guys haven't had lunch yet, but I've already had lunch. We won't tell you then that I'm still drinking my pot from this morning. This is my coffee, and I have a little bit left. Now, it was only half calf.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Well, you kind of stretch it out though. You just kind of sip as you go.
Well, that's because I got up early and went and did yoga this morning, and it was an hour, and I didn't get to finish what I normally would have finished. But so I'm still finishing it off because I'm going to drive to Virginia tonight. So I'm justifying the half calf because I'll still need to be alert and aroused and alert and everything on my drive to Virginia from North Carolina.
You know what? You do what you need to do. We're
There
okay
you go.
with that.
And then I have my water. That's water.
I was gonna say, is that your refill?
That's my water. That's what you should be drinking this time of day.
Balance. You got to have the balance.
That should have been done, but I'm two-fisted.
I love it. Well, whatever you need to do, I'm good with that. For our viewers today, Teepa and I were talking just before we hopped on, and something that is near and dear to both of our hearts. I've been in the senior health field for over 30 years. Teepa definitely is the expert here. And so, something we see, and it still surprises me, honestly, is the continued stigma that is out there in the larger community when you hear dementia or when you hear Alzheimer's. And I know, Teepa, this is very dear to your heart as well, and kind of where your focus is right now in getting that education and that support out for folks in the community. What are your thoughts on that whole bias and just the coming of time and what that's been or where we're going? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, one of the tricky parts of the diagnosis is that for each individual, it happens in a moment in time. But actually, the change has been happening for a period of time before we noticed it. And it's highly variable as to when that recognition that what we were looking at wasn't just stress, it wasn't just aging, it wasn't just a bad day, it wasn't just a sleep problem, it wasn't just your diabetes acting up, it wasn't, but all those things certainly contribute to it. But frankly, we've reached a point where it looks like what's going on now is your brain is starting to die on you. And actually, to be honest with you, it's been happening for a while. And, it could be anywhere from like 5 to 20 to 30 years. It started that long ago. And it's like, why do we feel it necessary to draw the line in the sand when we determine that, okay, well, now it's to the point where it's affecting your ability to live your life the way you used to?
Right.
And it's like, well, that's a vague term. So tell me exactly, if you've been modifying your life along the way, then conceivably, I could live my entire life and no one would actually label me as having dementia. But if I want to challenge myself and try to live as close to what I've always done as I can, then you're more likely to see evidence that I'm having some challenges doing that. And so am I, frankly. Right. And so it sort of depends on if I want to keep challenging myself to keep myself as active, as fit, as able as I can, or, you know what, I'm just going to fade back.
Yeah.
Sit down and hush up. And, when I don't behave like that, then people view me as, well, she has dementia. And it's like, well, yeah. But I bet if I came into anyone's house, I'm going to bet you this, Sandy. If I came into your house and I said, well, I'm here to help you with a shower. I'm here. You know what? Tell you what, let me have your checkbook because you've been making some really significant errors. So I think if I take over, you're going to be safer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like we try to provide what we call help, because we're noticing something. And the first thing we don't do is check in with the other person and see, how's life going for you here, here, or here? Because once our brain hears this thing called dementia, it's like, oh, so now you've crossed over that line.
Yeah.
So you belong over there. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right. Right. Well, and like you said too, it can be going for 5, 10, 20 years, and you're still living this regular lifestyle. And like you said, you can either choose to keep going at that pace or kind of shun back. And why do you think we have that line? I mean, what is it more us? I mean, why do you think that is?
Oh, you think? You think there might be a line there? Like,
Well,
yeah, like none of
well,
us, like, oh, well, I do stuff like that, so I've had trouble with word finding. I have been in the car and go, oh my God, how do I get, wait a minute, let me think. How do I get from here to where I want to go? Do I get off at this exit or do I get off at the next exit?
right.
Oh, geez, wait, don't pull over yet, Teepa. There's a car there. I mean, we've all had our momentary shifts in ability that we recognize it. And the difference between that's what happened and there's structural change. So you're going to have more and more of those, and you're not going to be able to get back to what you've always considered your baseline, the vast majority of time, because there's too much structural damage in addition to chemical shift. I think, we have a really, it's complicated. I mean, we want it to be simple and it's complicated, unlike other conditions where we know, oh, you've got diabetes. Well, if you take this product, whether it's insulin or whether it's an oral agent, or whether it's change your diet, change your exercise, if you do those things, you can stabilize yourself. And we've got the new stability. So here's the new normal, and ta-da, as long as I do these things, I get to stay here.
Yeah. And the challenge that we see with folks that have a dementia diagnosis is it's still so individual. It's not a simple pill. It's not a simple, there's a lot of navigating that has to be done, and it's
We're
so
trying to
individual,
target, yeah.
and there's no one solution. And that's what makes it difficult,
Yeah.
I think.
And the tricky part is I can look very different in the morning than I do in the afternoon, than I do in the evening, than I do with so-and-so versus this person. And so it starts to have a flavor of, well, she's choosing this. And it's like, no, the variables are adding up, but it's not a choice I would have made. Why would I have chosen to be different than the me I've enjoyed being?
Right.
I'm not choosing this, but what I'm able to do right now is different. I'll give you that. And it means, for me, what it means is how flexible is the person on the other side of the equation? How flexible can you be to be supportive of me and to let go of what you can't fix and to celebrate what we have in common and can do together, and recognize, well, I've got some capacity for being flexible. So, we'll modify here. And yet you still have the same value you've always had as a human being. It's just, wow, my expectations just got slapped. And so I've got it's a real slap in the face for expectations when I've known you for a long time, or, I thought something was going to be the case that isn't, that I've got to like pull back for a second and organize myself so I'll be responsive rather than reactive, I think is the challenge.
And that I see, and I'm sure you've seen over the years, is there's that big reaction piece. If only we as a community can be prepared as much as we can. And so, you had said we want to celebrate the individual. And for those folks that maybe don't have or don't know of the resources they have, how do we go about celebrating that person? How do we kind of make that transition? How do you recommend they do that, or what resources are out there? I mean, it's a loaded question, I know.
It is.
But where do
It
people
is.
even start?
I mean, yeah, the tricky part is recognizing, wow, that didn't go like I expected it to. I think you almost have to make an uh-oh to start committing yourself to something else. In my past, I mean, I've been around 42 years in practice, but prior to that, I was in family and had friends, et cetera, who had challenges, and some of them were dementia. And I remember both in developmental disabilities, which is the other field I've been real active in, and head injury, which I've also been real active in, and then dementia, all of which involve brain differences and brain variability, is that one of the things you have to almost do is make a mistake so that you can recognize, wow, that did not go in a good way. That wasn't comfortable. That really felt bad. That
Right.
felt bad to me. It looked like it felt bad to them. Okay, there's something going on here. And I think it's inside their brain. So I'm wondering what kind of brain things cause something like that. For me, I'm a why person. So if I could figure out a little bit of why would they have done that? They must have thought I asked them to do that. I mean, why would I ask them to do that? Doesn't even make any sense. It's like, oh, so it didn't make sense. So this whole idea of I need to learn more about brains and how they work, and relationships and how they work in general. And particularly if I'm going to be around people who have dementia, the more I can do that, the better.
And I think people are so uncomfortable feeling uncomfortable rather than embracing that change, that question, like you said, the why. And I think we have to look more within ourselves as to that why. Yeah, I should say not more, but mainly look within ourselves.
Mainly, yeah.
Why is this? Why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way?
Wow. Yeah.
Versus what is wrong with this other person. And so,
and thinking we know, thinking we can diagnose it, or we can identify it, or we can point and shake our finger at it. Well, what in the world? Why would somebody come in here? I mean, we ask the question, but it's not in a friendly, curious way. It's really, why would somebody come in here and tell me that they'd already paid their bill? If they'd already paid their bill, they wouldn't have gotten the thing in the mail.
Right.
I'm like, so, that's a really good question. I wonder why somebody would come in here when that's not logical, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe something's wrong with their logic system, which is really hard. So probably I wouldn't expect them to be real logical if there's something wrong with their logic system. So the first thing we could try is, oh, so you thought you already paid it. Wow. Well, this has got to be surprising then, to get a thing in the, and this isn't rocket science, but it is a way of being. I mean, it truly is a way of being with people.
Right. And you're needing to meet them in their reality at that moment, and not challenge, not question, but be there and just kind of let things unfold as they should or would. Yeah. So as far as resources, now you do a lot. You have the positive approach to care. You have your Ask Teepa. I mean, you have so many opportunities for folks to learn and get knowledge. What would you say? What would you recommend to people as far as taking that first step to better understanding? What you got there?
So we have a real simple card called the Dementia Cue card.
Okay.
And what could you notice? Okay. And so things that are like impulse control, poor immediate recall of info, loss of short-term word finding, confabulation, poor judgment, getting lost in time and place, but retain social skills, and signals of emotional distress. And then how could you check it out, and some facts, and then the Dementia Assist card. What are some things you can try?
Oh, nice.
So we have a free, it's a little card. We have them in hash sheets too, if you like bigger print for old eyes. But it basically gives you some real simple, how to help.
Okay. And where
Sandy, hey, it's Teepa. Yeah, that's how you start. Yeah. So
where do they get, or where can our viewers access that?
yeah, we have it on our website. It's a resource, it's a free resource. If you come on and look for resources, it will be listed. It's the Dementia Q card, the Dementia Assist card. And
Okay.
it's basically a real simple sort of piece if you like language.
Okay. Awesome.
It helps you sort of figure out what might I notice and what could I do about it.
Right, right. And I know, well, here in Arizona, we're really focusing on that dementia friendly movement that's going around. And I know you've probably talked with Sherry at Oakwood as well about that. And so as a dementia champion myself, it's trying to get that word out and that education. And I don't know, have you been involved with the dementia friendly movement, or where are you in that program?
Yeah, we're there. We are active in North Carolina doing something similar. I have certainly, supported and provided information and gotten up with people in a variety of different locations. In North Carolina, we're working on the dementia friendly with some new videos on how to do some things with businesses and with healthcare that make it even better. So friendly with skill.
Oh, I like that. Friendly with skill. I love that. And I love that the businesses are getting involved, because we are living longer and we are seeing some of these things just in the greater community more and more. And the more our businesses are educated and know how to support individuals as they may run into some different challenges, I think that's extremely important. So I appreciate all that you do on your end to support that as well. Most definitely. So let me ask you this, because I don't want to take all your time up. I know you're a busy gal. If people want to, if they want to access the different events or talks or all that you have going on, I know you have your teepasnow.com site. Is there anywhere else they should go to see what's going on that you're hosting?
We're pretty active in social media. So we have a YouTube channel. We have a TikTok channel.
Awesome.
I know, who would
I
think?
I
But
need to
we
learn
have
TikTok.
lots of stuff on TikTok. You need to learn TikTok. And we have an Instagram channel. I mean, we have these things. We have something on Pinterest. We certainly have a page and lots of activity on Facebook. And we do it different ways because, frankly, we have different people that we're supporting and recognizing people living with dementia
Right.
are part of our community. People, family members, friends, businesses, companies, individuals, professionals, everybody we believe in this world, children, everybody should learn about this thing called brain change, because it's happening to lots of us. And the rest of us are going to need to change to make it work well.
I agree. I do agree. Well, I appreciate your time, Teepa, very much. And again, for our viewers, if you haven't already checked out Teepa's information at her website, as well as she said on Facebook, TikTok, which I have to learn TikTok, Instagram, all of that, please check her out. She is just, I mean, she's priceless information that you can gather from
She's
Teepa.
been around a long time, Sandy. She's been around a long time.
You know your stuff, though. Oh, well, thank you, Teepa. I appreciate it. For our viewers, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, like our page. And we are so thankful, Teepa, that you joined us today. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have safe travels. Bring that coffee and water with you. Balance it out. And we will catch you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for all you're doing, and be friendly in a positive way.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.